Would you look who's back? Your favorite Detroit detective, Beverly Hills Cop, has returned. Axel Foley in the house. I'm ready to be on yet another case. Them cases ended a long time ago in 1987, Beverly Hills Cop II. The story really ended there. I don't know what the is this. So, anyway, you guys, Axel Foley, your boy has returned. I kind of lost enthusiasm because I had to remind myself this is 3, not 2. Some of you would say that you like Beverly Hills Cop 3, and a lot of you would say, I disagree. But let me just say this. When my boss was killed, I, Axel Foley, find evidence that the murderer had ties to a California amusement park called Wonder World. I can only wonder where this place is. It's at Wonder World. I don't want to wonder anything. I just want to kill him, right? Now, returning to Beverly Hills once more, I reunite with my boy Billy Rosewood, who is starting to get more blacker every time I see him. He done got a raise, he done got his own office, he done got his own workspace where he can do whatever he wants on his laptop, including God knows what. So, I team up with him, I reunite with Billy Rosewood to solve the case, and along with Billy's new partner, Jon Flint, now I'm replacing Taggert. I miss that boy. I miss that super cop. I'm sorry, I miss Super Cop Taggert, who's now with his wife. God bless him. But I don't know who this Jon Flint is. But they discover that the security force of Wonder World is actually part of a counterfeit money operation headed by park manager Orrin Sanderson. Tell me, how is this possible? How you gonna make the theme park? How you gonna make Wonder World the ripoff to Disneyland, the base of operations for your schemes? Tell me how does that work? So in 1984, the world was giving Beverly Hills Cop a year after Delirious, a year after Uncle Gus and Aunt Bunny and the Cookout and Google, and a year after Trading Places. It forever changed the action genre in Eddie Murphy's career by a milestone. What Rocky Balboa is to Sylvester Stallone is what Axel Foley was to Eddie Murphy. He is unarguably his most popular character, his most prominent curbside service character. While not as big as Coming to America or as comedic as Trading Places, the success and significance of Beverly Hills Cop was a given through a sequel, but a threequel did not have to come to fruition. When we last left, all the characters of Beverly Hills Cop 2 brought more closure to the story than the threequel thought it was going to do. It was the only other time that Axel Foley got to partner up with Rosewood and Taggert on the case. Those are the only two white men I would like to work with. I wouldn't want anybody to replace them. I'm going to trade those white men for any other white man to be on the case with. So the last movie saw Taggert exit the franchise, and Rosewood was getting closer to me. Once again, it did not have to continue from there, but some relationships and characters were left in the air. You know what I'm saying? Left in the air, in the sky, where the roller coasters go up and then they go down. But that would have left little to no complaints and unanswered questions that if they were to still proceed with Beverly Hills Cop 3 and to risk it all for trilogy's sake. But Beverly Hills Cop 3 does not even measure up to the fresh formula that was established in the original film. The sequel was only there to complement the original, but this movie makes frail attempts to either exceed or do justice to the formulaic pattern. There's this formulaic pattern that you have heard Sterling talk about, that when it comes to trilogies or franchises, the original is always the best. Or, if you're a rarity, the sequel is even better, the threequel exceeds expectations, or it just breaks the franchise. So, Beverly Hills Cop 3 still goes from Detroit to Beverly Hills, but the filmmakers' choice to let an amusement park that serves both as a Disneyland ripoff and a place of operation for the main criminals was an anonymous move, especially considering that these films take its protagonist, action, and atmosphere seriously. Now, the only thing an amusement park could be supplementary yet risky for is a brief life or death situation that only leads to the biggest height this series has climbed. Okay, I was on the ride to get away from the bad guy, to get away from the white man, because we have had a big history of just white men in tuxes chasing black guys like me. You know, I was trying to get away from them because I was trying to expose them, and I had to get to higher ground. So one of them want to tamper with the machine and it malfunctions with the ride. Now it's putting whole many lives in danger, and I look like a hero in front of those people, even though I wasn't trying to get myself into that situation. So Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 9% recommendation. Beverly Hills Cop 3 is beneath its two forefathers and does not reach the maximum height required to deliver a proper action comedy. Okay, this thing is beneath both of the Beverly Hills Cops movies, and this is beneath Eddie Murphy's best movies, and it is beneath the minimum standard required to create even the most memorable action comedy. So for that, I'll say it's just good. It's on the same level of A Golden Child. It's a little better than 48 Hours, and it is not as good. As far as 90s Eddie Murphy's movies goes, it is not as good as The Distinguished Gentleman or Boomerang, and of course, it will never be as good as The Nutty Professor. It just can't be as good as The Clumps, and it will never be as good as Doing Life with the bad boy himself. So, thank you for watching this video, and I have been honored to be your favorite cop, taking you through this trilogy of Axel Foley, of this mischievous young cop who is now going to grow up to be a veteran and eventually have a son to tell a fourth story that eventually didn't happen. So I'm sorry, Aaron. I hope you keep my legacy alive and well once I leave this earth. But anyways, thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts, and thank you for listening to my report. Now, rest in peace.